Hi, it's Stephen here from Sign of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 2 of the April daily draw. So let's see what message we get today, and I'll be taking the first card from the Druidcraft Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Celtic Spirit Oracle. So let's use our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. And today we will go there. And we have what's called the Lady, major number 3 in this deck. It's called the Lady. In this deck, this is the Empress, basically, as traditionally known, but in this deck is referred to the Lady, and the Emperor is referred to as the Lord. So you got the Lady and the Lord, as it were. But basically, it's the Empress. It's what we know. Basically, is the Empress. So, and it's interesting because we had the Empress come out a few times last month, didn't we? So we're still in that creative energy, that sense of abundance and creative and fertility and natural growth and life returning and that life-giving energy that we have here of beginnings and of the creation of new things and how we go through that process and time of creation. You know, there's some people don't always are too keen on the Empress or the Lady in this case showing signs of being pregnant, because of the view that they don't want, that's the only way a woman can be creative is by having babies. And I get that sentiment. But I think yes, having a baby is the ultimate of creating new life, etc. But I think this is more symbolic, that she's pregnant with the creative process, right? So, it embodies, the symbolism of it embodies the entirety of the creative process. This is why I mention it, because this is my take on it. Okay. And it's only my take, it's only my perspective. It's not, I'm not saying this is how everybody should view it, but this is how I personally view it. And I do acknowledge I get why, particularly some women, people that look at the cards and everything, they always see the pregnant Empress again. They don't want that thing of that the only good thing a woman creates is a baby, the baby machine kind of label and all that kind of thing. And I get that. And I'm very much opposed to that sentiment, of that's all a woman can create and is good for, etc. That we don't want anything to do with that. Okay, I don't agree with that. I don't tolerate that. That is not true. On the other hand, it is a form of being creative, and being a mother, being pregnant, giving birth, raising children as a mother. I don't want to diminish that either. I don't want it to be the only defining thing that makes a woman, but I don't want to diminish the value and the worth and the thing that should be cherished on a woman that has a baby and gives birth and raises the child and has that mother thing. And I don't think the people that criticize mention want to oppose being labeled in the way I mentioned before. I don't think they want to diminish that either. That's not their point, I don't believe. At least I hope it's not. But to me, this is more symbolic in a lot of cases. Yes, it can be literal, like all things. There are different ways to me of looking at the card, what the card means. It can be literal, so this could represent a pregnancy, maybe, and someone watching is either pregnant, about to become pregnant, learn that they are pregnant, or in the process of pregnancy, getting ready to give birth, that kind of thing. It could relate to you, literally. But I also think that symbolically, it's when we create something, because I believe a man, an eye can be represented by this image, in the sense that when I am going through a creative process, I have the conception of the idea of what I want to create. I have the seed of the intention of the idea. I nurture it and grow it as if I'm carrying the baby within. And for the time, there's a time period that it takes to do that. It can't be rushed. Like a baby takes, in general, 9 months is the standard, isn't it? Too early, there can be problems. So there's that concept we've been talking about, not to rush the process, let it happen in its natural timing, like a pregnancy. And then we actually then birth the result. I could birth the result, not literally birth the result, but I bring it into my life, what I want to create, and it's there. It's there in front of me. And when it's there in front of me, that's not the end of a job where then I go away and ignore it. Particularly once it comes in, when you create something new in our lives, we then have to look after it and nurture it further and let it grow and develop. Once the thing has been manifested into our lives, yes, that's great, it's there. But then we still have to receive it, take care of it, and let it be part of our lives, and it becomes a part of us. So, into my mind, the idea of the pregnant woman here is the Empress, and the theme of creativity. It's rich in symbolism. And yes, it can be literal, but it doesn't have to be, is my point. And it can apply to people of any type. Male, female, binary, non-binary. We're not. Doesn't have to be anybody. A person of any label or no label at all. It doesn't matter. The creative process, what it symbolizes, is the same as I've just described, and I think that's what this card is reminding us. That it's a process, it's a creative process, and even when we have the creation in front of us, like with a child, that's only the beginning of our work with it. Because once it's in our lives, we then have to live with it and develop it, and move forward with whatever it is we've created. That was not what I was expecting to be saying today. Okay. Here's the Oracle card. She of the Woods. Interesting that we have another feminine sort of symbol here. She of the Woods. Again, the connection with nature. She's out here in the woods, as it were. Well, not necessarily in the woods, but she's out in the countryside, where the woods are, I suppose. In the elements. Place, connection, home. So it's that, to me, it's what we connect with. It's connecting with that creative process again, that creative energy. We talked about this last month, about that connecting with creative energy. And I think this is what these cards are reminding us about as we move forward, as we go forward in this month. Okay, so that is today's message, not the message I expected to be giving, and even when I saw the card, but it's what came. So I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.